my name's Arpad Balog. This is Jennifer Scott. We're here at IFN Modern talking chairs.
Today we're talking about the LeCorbusier collection. So this is actually all three of these are the IFN Modern reproductions, high quality reproductions of the iconic LeCorbusier set.
Okay. What are the differences between these?
Okay, so I am sitting in the LC2, which is considered the petite.
Okay.
So it's a bit narrower. It has the double cushions underneath of me, which creates a bit of a higher seat height.
I can notice that. Yeah.
Tall.
You're taller than me right now.
Then you are sitting in the LC3, which is considered the grand. So again, it's got a bit of that lower seat height, the solid cushion underneath, and it's a bit wider.
Okay.
So this would be a great option for small spaces or even as a single chair. This is maybe a bit more of a proper lounger.
Okay.
And then if we look up here in the sofa length, this is the relaxed. So this is an IFN Modern original, this relaxed concept.
Okay.
They've taken the high density foam and all of the details that these two chairs have and then added down on top to make it extra comfortable. A bit of plush.
We need to test this out.
To it. Right?
Okay, nice,
Looks so comfortable.
I like.
And then all three of these, whether it's the petite, the grand, or the relaxed, are available in chair, love seat, or sofa.
Oh, that's nice. That's a nice feature.
It is.
Okay. So why don't we talk about some of the pros and cons of online shopping, because IFN Modern is an online company.
So I think some of those concerns that yourself, myself, and consumers in general might have shopping online is the curiosity and maybe concern of whether you're going to be receiving what you think you're ordering.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, well, there it is on screen, but
How does it actually look?
how does it actually look? How does it actually feel? What is that color really? You know, there's, in terms of their fabrics, I think you have their swatches right beside you there.
Yes, I do.
But whether you're looking at the leathers or the cashmere wool blend for upholstery, you have the opportunity here to go online to ifnmodern.com and order yourself a swatch kit.
Okay.
So you're going to get all of the leathers and all of the upholstery options that IFN Modern offers so that you can touch them, feel them, see the colors true. I mean, if you look at this, you could order a red chair or a red sofa.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
It's nice to know what exact shade of red are you getting.
Right. Yeah.
Or what shade of gray are you getting.
Okay.
So it gives you that opportunity, but also the chance to feel it and know that when your product comes, if you've ordered an upholstered one, this is how it's going to feel.
Okay. Yeah.
Or getting into the leathers, if you've purchased a leather product, if you chose the Italian leather versus the vintage leather, you're going to be able to see and feel the difference between those.
What's the difference between those?
So there's actually three leathers offered by IFN Modern.
Okay.
The first one, let's start with Italian leather. This one would be the most durable. I think that's probably what's on this chair here. So a lot of people worry that Italian leather is not going to feel quite as soft as some other leathers that are available, but feel this. It feels pretty good.
Yeah,
right?
It's nice, yeah.
It's soft, it's not too stiff, but what it does offer is a very durable protective coating, making it ideal for commercial spaces or high traffic areas where it's going to get a lot of wear and tear.
Okay.
Maybe you have kids or dogs or, rambunctious people in your home where you're going to want to have that extra protection to know that your product's going to stay looking awesome. The second option would be an aniline leather, where they still have a protective coating. It's not quite as heavy, and that's going to play up the sort of luxury hand of the leather a little bit. So it's going to be a little bit softer than the Italian leather.
All right, which is probably this one here, I'm guessing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then the third option is a vintage leather. So this refers to not the material itself, but more the method of treatment of that leather.
Okay.
So it ends, I think that's what this relaxed here. So you see there's going to show some different markings, natural markings within the leather, some natural color variations within the leather. And it just has that sort of distressed, relaxed, natural feel to it, which is my personal favorite.
Okay.
With the leather, it's easy to wipe down, and especially with the coatings they put on them. But with the cashmere, they've applied a treatment to the upholstery as well to make it super easy to clean, which is great.
Okay.
So resistant to stains, and if you do have to dab up a stain or rub at it a little bit, the IFN Modern has done a 15,000 rub test.
Okay.
So that's not just for spills and rubbing, but also just for everyday wear and tear. So they've made sure that for 15,000 rubs, this fabric is going to stay looking awesome.
Nice. So I can clean it and clean it and
clean it. You don't want to see any evidence of your spills, right?
Yeah. Now I'm looking at some other features on this chair, and it's got some nice lines to it. The stainless, or is it stainless? What is this? What do we got here? This
Yeah,
is,
it's solid tubular stainless steel.
okay. This stuff looks like it's been welded.
It has, yeah. You wouldn't be able to bend this, so they have welded it, but it's given that bent appearance.
Yeah.
Through just very specific welding, grinding, sanding, and polishing, just to give it that nice round cursive corner,
Yeah,
as opposed to having those sharp edges.
Yeah.
And you don't see any of those weld lines in there. It looks like a solid fluid piece, which is great.
Okay, I'm looking at these cushions here,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking I wouldn't mind to delve into them a bit.
Yeah,
Now,
they're all removable, every cushion right down to this steel frame here. When you pull out this cushion, you're able to see from some angles that there is a mesh backing on here, and it isn't the full leather the whole way around.
Why isn't it leather all the way around?
Well, if it were leather the whole way around, the foam that's inside, this high-density injected foam, it wouldn't have the opportunity to breathe. Air wouldn't be able to re-enter the foam to sort of plump it back up.
Oh, okay.
So it's affecting how the foam is able to hold its shape. So you want this mesh. That's actually a sign of better quality, having that option there.
Okay, nice. And you said this is a high-density foam?
High-density foam, injected foam, which means it was injected into a mold to create that shape.
Yep.
And then it's silk-wrapped.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
And that sort of prevents any abrasion between the leather and the foam, and also helps that foam hold its shape.
Okay, that's excellent. And then what about the stitching and the piping?
So the piping on all IFN Modern products, piping and buttons for any products that have tufting, they are constructed of 100% leather as well.
Okay.
So some companies would use a synthetic as a cost savings, but they've gone ahead and used the full leather. Yeah.
Smart.
And then before you put that back down,
Yeah.
actually, let's look at on the bottom of that solid steel frame, you have that 100% nylon webbing.
Right.
So that interlocking sort of mesh on the bottom is what's going to give structure and strength to the product, and also help keep that foam holding its shape. Because if you imagine, if those were to sag, then as you sit down, your foam's going to naturally follow that.
Okay.
So having the strength within that nylon is what's going to help keep the whole
Saves us
silhouette
from
of the
getting
chair.
damaged. Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Right. Well, how about we get into a little bit about IFN Modern?
Sure.